Hello, welcome to Sandy Ainley. I hope you're okay. Um, just to say that I have one subject which I don't think I've touched upon, so to speak, and certainly not devoting my whole um, video recording on this one topic. So there's no time like the present, I think there's a saying, isn't it? So I shall begin now. Just to say to you that I personally believe that it is not correct to criticize people. And when I say that, I mean people, as in everybody, people. At a time of such nature in the world right now, there is a lot of insecurity and fighting and war taking place, as probably most of you know. And it is my belief that the world needs kindness to be added. And it is my deep sadness that says that sadly, there ain't much kindness in the world today. I didn't say none, I said ain't much. And it really does sadden me very, very deeply as a result of the fact that all one needs to do is a small little action of kindness and it can change somebody's day completely. Somebody external to oneself. I'll give you an example, if I may. I was sitting in a coffee shop, minding my own business, having a breakfast or whatever. And a gentleman walked in. And I think the gentleman didn't have enough money or something, or it might have been something that the gentleman was describing, which the gentleman didn't seem happy. So well, at least that's how it seemed to me, I think. But there certainly was a reason for me to say to the gentleman, to be more precise, do you need some money? I think that's what I asked. The gentleman I don't think needed any, if I recall correctly. I'm sorry to be so vague. I'm so forgetful. Oh dear, poor me, I don't mind having said. So the gentleman landed up chatting to me and saying it's nice to know that there's some kindness in the world. And it deepens me and it saddens me. I help the chap be happy, and because of that, as a result of that, the gentleman leant back or sat back or whatever and chatted to me. And then made the comment on the subject of there being some kindness in the world. Still, I think is what the gentleman said. And I did very little. All I did was just say, would you like some money? Or whatever it was I said. I know I was kind, that's for sure. And what I so wish to say is that in the case of the royal family, I also think that there needs to be kindness. I didn't say forgiveness, I said kindness. I mean on the case of whoever it is that's being talked on subject of or spoken on subject of. I'm not saying that one is not, as in the royal family, in this case, in this instance, is not to be responsible for his stroke her actions. So I repeat, I'm not saying that they're not to be responsible for their actions, just to put the record straight, there being whoever in the royal family. What I am saying is that there can be some kindness in addition. And that goes for the royal family and anybody on this earth who, even people who commit crimes and kill, of course they must be made accountable for their action. However, also, one needs to bear in mind, or I certainly feel I need to bear in mind, that a criminal is a criminal for a reason. And I would say most of the time, maybe probably all the time, it's as a result of the past of that person, that criminal. Now, of course, that criminal is to be made accountable. However, once in prison, that person needs therapy. And I don't mind saying that some kindness as well. And even if it's part of the person's character and it's nothing to do or little to do with the person's upbringing, well, I very much doubt it. I'm not a specialist in genes, but family genes, and I'm not a trained professional psychologist. However, I use my common sense, and I believe that if you're taught one is taught from a very young age to be correct, that will most probably shape one's life. In the case of a criminal person, and I prefer to use the word a criminal person because, let's put the record straight here. Each person is a person, a human being, and deserves to be described as such. It's only a word, and I just think it shows that they're human too. And that's an act of kindness, not an act of not knowing the mistake that was made or the criminal act that was made, to be more precise. Just to show a little bit of kindness, to acknowledge that that person is a human being, in literal wording, a human being. It's a bit like with myself. I'm a Jewish lady. I'm of the Jewish faith. And I prefer to say, as opposed to say Jew, I prefer to say Jewish person. It's not a massive big deal. However, it's just a personal preference. And I think that each person needs to be in a position whereby one is not to be knocked in any manner whatsoever for one's own personal choice of using and expressing a word or words. That is my opinion, and I stand by it wholly, completely, and totally. And in addition to that, I wish to say that I recall once there was a family having some kind of argument or something when I was present in that family's home. And I said something very kind. I don't recall what it was. It was kind. And that's all that matters to me. And a little girl turned towards me, and it seemed to me that the little girl was tormented and needed my kindness and didn't come straight to me. and there was some kind of argument, fight, continuing still. And I think I eventually left. I mean, what's the point in being there? I didn't want to embarrass them either, so I recall that this little girl, when the little girl got older, I seem to recall, kept coming over to me to visit me. And I just wish to say that I think the little girl needed my kindness. And I gave it. And I just think that just a little something like, "Hello, sweetie, how was your day?" Or "What a sweetie you are," or "What a lovely person you are." Just something pleasant to cheer a person up. And it really does cheer that person up to hear something kind. And I really believe that that's what the world needs more than anything. This needs just, wherever one is, compassion, to appreciate that the people who, like each one of us, I think, if I may please assume so, wants to be handled with some dignity and kindness. And I just think it's so sad that there's so many people in this world crying for some understanding, kindness, compassion. Emancipation, I think, also is a good word for what a person needs. I think emancipation means freedom. So, yes, if it does, then yes, freedom. And I think that it's food for thought, if I may please assume so. Maybe if one just thinks, what does what I say, what effect does that have on the person I'm saying whatever to? And if one thinks, oh, it's what am I saying it for example, and thinks on that level, and then think, if it's something pleasant, to say it, and if it's something not pleasant, not to say it. But unfortunately, there seems to be a hunger for making comments that bite another person, as in criticizing. And I don't think that's who a person really is. I think that certainly many people, if would realize the meaning of what people are that person or those people are saying, it might help. And the one manner in which to understand that is to try to ask oneself why one's saying what one says or is going to say or are going to say. By no means am I a professional at this subject. However, one point I can say is that I'm a very kind lady, and I care for people. I care for myself. And sometimes I'm not kind to myself. And I could do sometimes with stopping and saying to myself, why am I speaking to myself in this manner? And try to stop by realizing why I'm doing it. So I repeat, I'm no professional. However, I know a kindness is in me very deeply, and I show it a lot. And I'm very proud of myself. I'm by no means painting a superficial picture. I have my moments when I'm a real... However, I try to curb it. And of course, if one does make mistakes, then say sorry, please. That's what I do anyway. Works for me. And I also believe that saying sorry is the key to showing that one is a good person. Of course, depending upon the context. However, generally, if one's done some silly mistake, then certainly for me, speaking for myself, it helps me a lot to apologise. There just seems to be so much pain in the world. I stopped and thought to myself earlier on, I think today. No, it was yesterday, I think. I thought, what's taking place in the world? What in Lord's name is taking place? There's so much concern around the world. People seem to be, I think, responding to what's so ever so incorrect. And I think the only answer, is kindness. That's just my opinion. You know, call me naive, please. If you want to comment, say to me I'm naive, please say to me. But that's what I believe. I believe that the world, says Sandy, just having looked out the window, is suffering. So on that sad and hopeful note, I wish each one of you to take care, please. And please, each one of you take care of one another. And lots of love. Bye-bye. And before I disappear like fog, please, if you did enjoy this vlog, and if you are enjoying this vlog, please, I need more subscribers. So if you wouldn't mind only, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Take care, please. Bye-bye.